What?
The Commandant wanted to see me.
Leave your weapon here.
Guard it with care. It's very valuable.
Wait, Wolf. I need to talk to the Commandant too.
You going inside or not?
Listen, friend. I'm an officer and you're a runt. And when I say jump, you will not only...
Come on, Roach.
With these cunts, Laredo can protect the port from a drunk lumberjack, let alone Yorveth.
He's succeeded so far, Roach.
A ballista. The bastard's got a ballista. You know the power of this weapon. Its arms strengthened with bronze plates and strung with horsehair. It can propel heavy bolts up to a mile away.
Yeah, an experienced crew can release 2 bolts each minute, but it can't hit the same spot twice because it recoils and shifts. I've heard that somewhere before.
Where did you learn about ballistae?
I knew someone who knew a bit about them.
Unimportant. We need to damage it if we don't want to be at Laredo's mercy. They're all drunk here now. I'll provoke the guard.
Relax, Roach. I don't want to fight this rabble again.
As long as that weapon's operational, no one will sail this section of the Pontar without Laredo's express permission.
I'll handle this. Go have a drink.
Haven't had this good a time in ages. These drunkards protect people from the Scoia.
You know this one.
Peasants in uniforms.
Drunkards. Yorveth could take them single-handed.
Lucky he hasn't realized that.
Oh, you are fat, dirty, rotten scum.
Tend to the ballista, Geralt.
Do that again. Oh, fuck you, mum. Now, them all.
What do you need, ugly?
I wanted to surprise my friend, the sad-looking guy by the ballista.
Some idiot wanted me to read him poems recently. Extravagance as I say it, I didn't like it.
I was thinking of something a little more traditional.
What would you have me do?
I don't really care. Just get him away from the ballista.
Oh, now you've got me doubting he's your mate at all. But I'll not pry. It'll cost you double.
That's steep.
I may be a simple girl, but I know at least a few men who'd give you trouble if I told them what you've asked of me. Pay me, and it'll stay between us. I mean, no point in giving brutes and louts a good reason to perfect their skills, eh? All right, I'm off to give the boys some diversion.
You've had your song. Care for some real diversion?
Sniffing around like dogs in a rubbish dump.
Care for a little diversion?
Haven't had this good a
Grey
time in ages.
I'm on duty.
That's true.
Oh, come on.
You know this one.
Your comrades are well at it, having their fun. Why should you be any worse?
Along came a
You're
dwarf
right.
and kicked him
Let's
in
go.
the arse. Plough 'em all, plough 'em all. Oh, you are fat, dirty, rotten scum. Plough 'em all, plough 'em all. Do that again, and I'll fuck you, mum. Plough them all.
You've had your song. Care for some real diversion?
Sniffing around like dogs in a rubbish
that you
dump.
could conquer all.
They say witches have no need to plough. Laredo's busy with that witch Sheila. Come back later.
Geralt, let's wait downstairs in the yard.
That's true.
You know this one. Dirty rotten scum. Plough 'em all.
Yes?
Do we wait until the Honourable Lady is done with the Venerable Hick?
Waste of time. Looks like a good number of Flotsam's town watchmen are here. We should look around. Did you see that arbalist behind the house? I'll get his attention. Give him something to think about. Why don't you find out what they're guarding so closely?
You've had your song. Care for some real diversion?
Soldier, report to me immediately!
What do you want?
Shut it, soldier! Have respect for your superior.
You forget who you're dealing with, Commandant.
You must think me an idiot.
I cannot help myself. You take guardsmen off the streets to guard carpets, fabrics, and spices pilfered from merchants. Do you have any grasp of the responsibility that rests with you?
Don't teach an old man to piss, sorceress. I've ruled Flotsam for years.
Flotsam is ruled by a fear of Yorveth. That fear rules even you.
I've made my demands perfectly clear.
Like a crying babe deprived of its rattle. In time, Commandant, they'll hang you by the neck from a roadside tree like a regular bandit. And rightly so, for you're no better.
Your time will come too, sorceress. They'll pile kindling at your feet.
Enough. Fear has confused you. Think over what I said and give your answer before it's too late.
Didn't like him from the start.
Laredo's storing valuable gifts from the merchants right here. He may be expecting Yorveth to attack. I overheard the Commandant talking to Sheila. I couldn't pinpoint the topic of their conversation, but it seems to me he's angling for something.
We'll see what he has to say.
Go in. They await you.
Where are we to go? I'd hardly call this a hut.
You, sir, cannot enter. We've been ordered to let in the Witcher, but no one else.
Son of a bitch! Fine. He wants to play hard, we'll play hard.
I don't want any trouble. I'll call for support.
No need. Tell Laredo I got the message.
See you, Roach.
Here to see the Commandant.
We have business to discuss.
Good luck. He's in a foul mood.
Why?
We'll talk another time, and definitely elsewhere.
Finally!
They didn't want to let me in while the sorceress was here.
Did you see her? Made up like a whore on parade day. They think they can do anything, those sorceresses. I heard what happened in Temeria. You know your name's on a warrant. It's unfortunate, though nothing that should impede our dealings. See, I'm the law round here, and the law needs to know what the legendary White Wolf's doing in this cesspit.
I'm looking for the man responsible for Foltest's death.
Here?
I know the Scoia'tael had a hand in it too. It's their trail I followed to Flotsam.
Lucky you found Bernard Laredo then. If you're telling the truth, Yorveth's got royal blood on his hands. I can help you find him.
What about Vernon Roach? Why didn't you let him in?
Roach? Know the aura that surrounds him? Men like him act first and think later. And when they act, almost inevitably innocent blood flows. I heard you killed the Kairan. Flotsam is grateful. Let's say that squares the crimes of your friends. They're free to go. I trust you're on our side.
Whose side is that?
That of the people of Flotsam, of course. Terrorized by the elven bandits for years now.
There was a time those forests belonged to the elves. To them, humans are bandits.
Spare me your sympathy. The elder races, the elder language, plough it all! Today they torch human settlements, they poison our wells, and they murder us along the highways. You fail to understand.
It's you who doesn't understand, Laredo. To tell you the truth, I'm not human.
You an elf? A dwarf? No, talking bollocks. I piss on the fact that they call you freak for your white hair and glowing eyes. You're a human like any other. We're fighting a war. And you, my friend, cannot straddle the fence.
What about the elves and dwarves in the trading post? The smiths, peddlers, and hunters? They eat with you, sleep among you. Whose side are they on?
Hell if I know. That's my point, Witcher. When you fight for survival, you need to be sure who your friends are. The non-humans in Flotsam, sure, they eat, fuck, shit among us. But when Yorveth sounds the battle horns, who knows what they'll do?
I'm surprised they haven't turned on you already.
How so?
The town guards treat non-humans like shit. Frankly, I don't know what keeps them here.
I'll tell you what, Geralt. The hunger they'd face in the forest. But I grant you, those acts of, insubordination need to be stopped. Soldiers are simple men. When you see your mate die, a scoia'tael arrow in his throat, it's hard to look favourably at the elf who sells your wife coloured kerchiefs. You're a witcher. Your job is to protect the simpletons from monsters. I protect them from the danger that lurks amongst the trees.
You detest non-humans.
I detest Yorveth, the coward who hunts the innocent instead of facing soldiers. I detest that whore son who murders women and children while claiming that he fights for freedom. He's a monster, Geralt. He's the evil I protect people from. And anyone who helps a monster becomes a similar monster to my mind.
Enough. I get it.
I don't want you to kill him. Even you don't have a hope against his entire force. I've an idea, but I'd rather not go into it now. The squirrels are up to something. Every night their scouts come closer. I suspect they plan to attack the barge moored in the port.
What's on the barge?
You mean who? Bandits, murderers, rapists. On their way to the dungeons at Drakenborg. As soon as...
Their infamous leader joins them. The cherry on the cake and Bernard Lorito's crown trophy.
Couldn't have put it better myself. As long as Yorveth remains free, humans, elves, and dwarfs will live alongside each other in deep distrust. I've got to learn what the pointy-eared rat is planning.
How am I supposed to get that information?
You underestimate me, Witcher. True, I have my prejudices, but I'm not blinded by them. Take your friend Zoltan, for instance. He contacted Yorveth.
I'll talk to Zoltan.
I trust you'll make the right decision. Farewell.
Haven't had this good a time in ages. You know this one? A little lad was skipping down the path. Plough 'em all. Along came a dwarf and kicked him in the arse. Don't forget your blade.
Well, well. How's the Commandant as a host?
It's people like him who might help us.
Or put us in shackles and throw us into the river.
He told me they're keeping scoia'tael prisoners on a barge in the port.
Did he mention if Kieran Ep.A5B5, Yorveth's right-hand elf, is among them?
No.
He may know something about the Kingslayer.
Let's pay him a visit.
I tell him I'm taking your pouch. Or your pouch and your life.
What do you want?
To speak with the wounded prisoner.
No one's allowed.
I'm here on Commandant Lorito's orders.
I already cut a deal with you, but
So get out of my way.
he won't tell you much. He's dying.
Shut your traps. Stop bloody moaning down there.
Look, Coffer's dozed off.
Wakey, wakey, Coffer. You'll fall asleep forever any day now.
They beat him bad. He's got at least a dozen fractures. I'll need your help.
What do I do?
The spell I'm going to use is painful. It could kill him if he thrashes around.
I'll use the Axii sign to calm him.
Perfect.
Look, Birdie's all wet. Hey, Fern looking at me.
Get ready, Birdie. We'll be there to see you right after our watch.
It's no use.
You wish, Horson. I'm no traitor.
He's raving.
Vatgun? Where am I?
In Flotsam, on the prison barge.
The convict's barge? I'm done for.
How did Laredo's goons catch Yorvith's right-hand elf?
I was betrayed. How else?
You'd be dying in pain if it wasn't for us.
If it wasn't for the Dwan, I wouldn't be here.
There's a Witcher in Yorvith's unit.
Like every Dwan, he turned out to be a bastard.
What happened?
He betrayed us. He said he had an offer for me. So we met, where roses of remembrance grow. I should have known.
Roses of Remembrance?
Yes, some of the last in the world. He thought that I'd betray my elven brother in order to control the unit. I refused, and there was a fight. I've never seen anything like it. No human can move that fast. It was a massacre. I was the first to be hit, thus I survived. I would have bled to death had Laredo's men not found me. Letho will kill Yorvith, and all will be lost. So many dead, so much suffering, all for naught.
Why does the Dwan want Yorvith dead?
He used us from the start. Our hatred, but he no longer needs Yorvith. Sees him as a thorn in his side. I don't know what Letho wants.
What does Yorvith want? Why Flotsam?
Go plough yourself.
Only I can warn Yorvith. Tell me.
We're fighting for much more, Witcher. Flotsam is only the beginning. We're no bandits, we fight for freedom. In due time, Yorvith will answer the call, and we'll emerge from the woods, joining the battle.
What battle?
He wasn't specific.
In that case, I'll ask Yorvith himself.
I'd like to see that.
Letho. He's the Kingslayer?
Yes.
We got what we came for.
What now?
Yorvith.
What if Yorvith already knows?
I've got an old saying all ready for him. My enemy's enemy is my friend.
Warn him, Gwynplaine. Yorvith fights, for that is what he does best. He's Enshe, a real one, a free one. Among the last. Fighting makes sense. Now more than ever before. There is still hope.
What are you talking about, Kieran? Hope for what?
For change. For a better tomorrow. I'll not see it. They'll torment me to death on this barge, and I'll go gladly where the apple trees bloom. But you must warn Yorvith.
Yennefer told me that Ciri has departed for good. She inhabits another world and is happy there. Before she left this one, she gave us the Isle of Avallac'h, our island. We stopped counting time. People believe that the wraiths of the Wild Hunt are immortal. They race across the heavens, gripping in their bony hands swords, their lightning bolts. They take away mortals, ever expanding their cavalcade of spectral riders. They burned the orchard and the house. In their armored boots, they trampled our island. And they made off with Yennefer. I had to get her back. Return to reality. Return to the Witcher's path.
Geralt, are you all right?
I've been to the Isle of Avallac'h, among the apple trees and the mists. After the massacre in Rivia, Ciri took me there, and Yennefer. The Wraith Riders kidnapped Yen, and I pursued them.
But...
Triss, this is important. I feel like everything's coming together. When the Witchers found me barely alive a half-year ago near Kaer Morhen, I was fleeing the Wraiths of the Hunt. They continued to pursue me, in the outskirts, then in Vizima when I killed the Grand Master. Now I know it was no coincidence.
Kieran mentioned roses of remembrance growing somewhere near here. Cedric claims likewise. If that's true...
Right now, I should be searching the forest for Yorvith, not looking for flowers.
I could restore your memory.
You sure?
Everything seems to indicate that. Whatever's blocking your memory is clearly weakening. I think I could break that barrier with just one petal from a rose of remembrance. Those flowers are truly powerful.
In that case, Yorvith can wait.
Want me to go with you?
I'd love your company.
All right then. Let's go. Cedric mentioned there are some old elven buildings near the cascade in the forest. We should start there.
Lead the way.
Shut your traps! Stop bloody moaning down there.
Look, Coffer's dozed off.
Wakey, wakey, Coffer. You'll fall asleep forever any day now. Look, Birdie's all wet. Hey! He's looking at me.
That prick Merigold turned his nose up, eh? Ha!
I think we've arrived. The cascade, the menhir. We need to take the path leading upwards.
Gardens in the middle of forests? Those elves really like to complicate things.
Stop whining. It's not far now. Cedric told me a beautiful legend about this place.
Legends are almost always beautiful, especially elven ones. The reality often leaves a lot to be desired.
Well, Cedric also said the site itself was something wonderful. The rose must be here somewhere.
I'll look around.
Alden and Cymoril. Cedric said Cymoril eclipsed even Francesca Findabair with her beauty, and Francesca's reputed to be the world's most beautiful woman.
Cedric drinks too much.
He really has visions, you know. He really has the gift. He could learn to control it if he drank less.
Cedric drinks to get rid of the visions, and that's something I understand perfectly well.
Oh my, lovers. Look out. It's beautiful. I just don't understand it. How did the elves become so cruel? The one with the scar had so much hatred in him.
Places like this make you realize just how much they've lost. There used to be entire elven cities, and the forests were theirs to enjoy, not to hide in. Humans destroyed that, put them in reservations. Yorvith and his kind are taking revenge, though not all elves are like that.
Kieran said there's a lot more at stake.
He has his ideal, a certain vision of the world. But do you think there's room for humans in it?
We're practically one and the same.
Wrong, Triss. We've been learning from each other for generations, but we're different at base.
I don't know why I find that awfully sad.
Just like this garden. Beautiful and sad. Triss.
Slimeral's Rose of Remembrance. Legend has it they wilt unless nourished with blood, and also if they're sold. But give it to someone you love, and it'll live forever.
This one's for you.
Oh, Geralt.
I want you to keep it. If there's any truth to the legend, it shouldn't wilt, even if you pluck a petal or two.
Thank you.
This is the statue, Curly. Don't mind us. Imagine the corn we'll get. I won't leave the brothel for a month.
6 weeks even.
Where does that woman get the gold for all this? I mean, her and the old man, they're buying a new house. And now these statues for the garden. Must be deflawing the treasury. What's a town chancellor do anyway?
It'd be ploughing hard to move.
We'd never shift it in one piece. I know. We'll break off the legs, the heads, remove it in bits.
Break off your own head, clown.
Shut your trap, cunt.
Kill them!
Watch out!
Incredible what the N-shape built before human ships ever appeared in the Pontar Delta. Elves possess a sensitivity humans can't ever hope to acquire.
We're trapped.
Looks like we're stuck. Well, there must be another way out of here. Why are you looking at me that way? Do I have something on my face? What's going on in that head of yours, Witcher?
Oh, you know. Stuff. You could use a bath.
So could you.
A witcher's blade. Letho comes here to think.
Well, he's not here now, so we've no reason to stay.
The Dwan stole the story of Eldon and Cymru, but they now steal our roses of remembrance. A more silly and shallow tale I've never heard. An enchanted wood, a beautiful elven couple living within. A handsome human prince arrives, riding a milk-white stallion. Bloody Dwan. We Enshe remember how it was. Limitless devotion, passion, commitment, and sacrifice. Legend has it the lovers' sighs are enchanted within these very stones, though only those in love can hear them.
Singing bushes, jabbering stones, elven hogwash. Well, I'm buggered.
We should take walks more often. For a while there, I forgot all about Flotsam, the Scoia'tael, the Kingslayer, the whole world, really.
Nice to know I still have that power.
I need time to devise the spell. It could take as much as a few days. What do you plan to do while you wait?
I'm going to meet Yorvith.
Well, don't get yourself killed. That'd be pretty stupid now.
What are you getting at?
You're about to recover your memory, which will give you a whole new perspective on things. We'll learn what happened to Yennefer.
Uh-huh. And you expect me to drop everything and tell Roach, hey, it's been great, but I've got places to go and people to find?
You know, you could. I mean, you don't really owe him anything. I'm just afraid you'll get caught up in something and you won't be able to back out. Yorvith's a sly old elf. He's been fighting humans for a full century at least. This Letho is no common bandit either, and I shudder to think who put him on the warpath. It's a mire, Geralt. Deep and hungry, and it could swallow you whole before you know it.
It possibly already has.
I want you to know that I'm prepared to travel to the end of the world with you to save Yennefer. I owe you that. I owe her that. I'm prepared to drop everything. The trappings of court life, politics, the regicides. I could even live at Kaer Morhen. It's up to you.
Triss.
Let me finish. I can only say this once. If you want to go alone, I'll understand. And I won't try to persuade you otherwise.
If all goes well, I'll catch the Kingslayer before you finish preparing the spells.
And if it doesn't go well?
Triss, do you really expect me to spend 2 days at the tavern drinking with the locals while Letho's out there taking control of a Scoia'tael unit?
No, but what will you do? What if Yorvith scoffs at your news? What if he says Letho's escaped and no one knows where to find him? Will we go? Will we leave the regicide to Roach and continue with our own lives?
I think so, and I think you're right. I don't owe anyone anything.
I'm glad you've noticed that.
But that doesn't mean I'm willing to sit around doing nothing. You need time anyway, and in that time I'll catch the Kingslayer.
Geralt, please, be careful.
I'll go see Zoltan, and together we'll go find Yorvith. With a little luck, I'll capture the Kingslayer, and then we can go back to living our own lives.
Good. Will you talk to Roach?
I'll think about it.
Geralt! Geralt!
There you are. Is everything all right? This is nice. What a beautiful place.
Very.
How'd you find us?
Finding those I seek is a speciality of mine. Now, let's get out of here. The Scoia'tael are out in droves.
Wait, Vernon. We need to talk.
About what?
A few days from now, I plan to leave, get back on the path, back to my Witcher's work. That'll mean the end of our mission.
Care to tell me what prompted this decision?
Triss. She knows how to restore my memory.
Why not drop everything and leave now?
Triss needs time to prepare the spells.
You're giving up. No other name for it. You're just giving up. What of the Kingslayer? Many still believe you're him.
I don't think I care anymore. Those whose opinions I value, well, they know the truth.
You see someone kick a dog and you're incapable of letting it go. And you want to release that fiend who we've succeeded in cornering, who's thrashing to get out of the cage we've put up around him.
I want nothing of the sort. I'm not leaving for a few more days. In that time, I'll catch Letho for you. That's the Kingslayer's name, incidentally. I know how to get him.
How?
You're not going to like this, but it'll involve working with the Scoia'tael.
Is your mind completely plowed at this point? Did Triss put this nonsense in your head?
Listen to me. You'll get your Kingslayer soon. I'll give you him or his head. After which you'll clear me of all charges and let me go my way.
What else? Perhaps you'd like me to embrace Yorveth in gratitude as well.
Yorveth's not my problem. I'm no elf hunter. I've never been one, and I don't intend to become one.
Enough. You've made your decision, I can see that. So be it. But I think we all know who's being the prick here.